We thought we could just roll and tumble, live from song to song, kiss to kiss.
Well, any weekend that brings a movie starring Michael Fassbender, Ryan Gosling, Rooney Mara, Natalie Portman is a cause for celebration. But not this movie. This movie, unfortunately, is yet another indulgent exercise from the mind and camera of Terrence Malick. Terrence Malick, the great legendary filmmaker, I should say, who did some extraordinary movies earlier in his career, beginning with Badlands, and then there was The Thin Red Line. He then basically, after doing this series of highly acclaimed films, one of them, The Thin Red Line, even got a Best Picture Oscar nomination, he disappeared basically from the film scene, didn't make another movie for 20 years, came back in 2011 with a film that many people considered his masterpiece, The Tree of Life, another Best Picture Oscar nomination for that. Malick was back, but we didn't expect him to be consistently turning out variations on the same movie. Tree of Life seemed different and fresh in its own way, even though it's very, very arty. He then did To the Wonder, Knight of Cups, and now Song to Song. All three of them real test on your limits of patience here to watch his infatuation with everything seemingly but human beings, in my opinion. Birds flying by will send him off into a flight of cinematic fancy. He shoots beautifully here with the cinematographer, the great three-time Oscar winner Emmanuel Lubezki, and I actually think that is the highlight of all of Malick's films, is the camera work. There's nothing else to hang on to, particularly in this new one set in the music scene of Austin, but there's very little about that music scene. This is more involved in the interrelationships of a number of characters here who speak in whispered voiceovers. It is a real treat when we actually see their mouths moving to the words rather than these voiceover thoughts that they keep having.
Married in 1980, and I've been a widow since 1994, but I still wear my ring because he's still my husband.
There are also some real-life musicians in the film that drop in and out. Patti Smith, she plays guitar here and talks about how she just likes to play the same chord, and that, oddly enough, is a perfect way to describe Song to Song, because with Malick, he just keeps playing the same chord as we watch these so-called relationships unfold. Michael Fassbender plays a music mogul who's almost like Satan in trying to bring apart two aspiring musicians, played by Ryan Gosling and Rooney Mara, who are together until they're not together. Natalie Portman pops in, falls for Michael Fassbender. All of this sounds intriguing until you see the movie, and these actors are being put through the motions. They're asked to pose more than to create living, breathing human beings. Unfortunately for me, none of this worked. I was an admirer of some of Malick's earlier work, but what he's done with the insufferable To the Wonder, followed by the insufferable Knight of Cups, and now this picture, he's lost his way. He's in a rut. He's making the same movie essentially over and over, and he's forgetting the one thing that makes great films, and that is the human element. Pretty pictures? Yes. Not much else, I'm afraid, in Song to Song. I say no.